All right, we're live. This is a JVology Live Show, and we honestly haven't done one in quite a while. I know it's summer break, but there was a lot to share. So here we go.
Awesome. Yes, it has been a great summer, to put it mildly. We have been playing with kids and traveling around and creating a whole variety of new content. It's been very, very awesome. But it is, all good things must come to an end. And I guess that is what is happening with summer.
It's getting to that place where you can feel it's starting to wind down, and September's on the horizon, and that means it is time to go full force into everything. And we've got a lot of really great things happening at JVology to help our members and those of you out there that are watching to just really propel what your mission and vision and what you want for your business to be. We're going to help you ramp that up. We got a lot of great things happening in September for a big kickstart.
Without a doubt. It occurred to me again, we haven't done this for a moment or two, that I should jump over to my personal page and just put the link here to make sure that folks know that. So give me a moment, because we'll let people know on the personal page. And I don't know, where was this originally posted on this one? Do you know the answer to that?
I know it's in the perfect mix. Yep, I see it right now. We are live.
Perfect.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, we just want to let everybody know that we hope you've had a really fantastic summer. It's been fun. I just got off of a JVology call, that something I've been doing all summer long called Stop talking. Sorry. Voice is coming from odd places. I've been leading every week a call for our community, either our Better Together Mixer or our JVology Global Lounge call, and just got off the Zoom and with some great people, really up to big things, and making JV invitations, and has their sights set on what's ahead, some big launches coming up in the fall. And then, we've talked quite a bit about what does it take to be that next level JV partner. And we often have people come into JVology Live and they're still trying to get the wheels on the bus, as you say. They're trying to figure out what their program is and how to get the back end of things going. But now they've been with us a while and they're getting it. And they've got great offers. They've got free gifts, landing pages, lead magnets. And they're going, okay, now that I've got the basics, I want to take joint venture partnering to the next level and really make an impact with it. How do I learn how to leverage these JV partnerships to add more income, to get my message and my program out to more people? And how do I make additional income by promoting other great people? And so that's what we're here to talk about is, what does that next level of JV partnership look like? What kind of support do you need? It's a completely different strategy. It's one of those things you're not ready to hear it till you're ready for it. But we know there's a lot of you out there now who are really ready for this next level of strategy.
Absolutely. And that brings us to, and I'm just trying to get ready to share that page as well while we're doing all that. Well, I wasn't quite ready to do that. So good Lord, it's been a long time since we've been on here. But here's what we're going to be talking about. I want to share a little bit of high-level strategy from our program, which is called In Stream. Now, I know that some of you think you already know. I know that somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I heard that before." But I wanted to share a brief story with a dear friend of mine, Matthew. And I think most of you know Matthew McGregor. He's been a part of our community for quite some time. And I am just going to stop screen sharing. So can you just pull it off? I guess you got to do it each time instead of just pulling it out of the stream, huh? Okay, we'll live with that. Anyway, Matthew and I were having this conversation because he's got this new app coming out and it's pretty spectacular. He's like, so what are the industries I should be looking at? It's like, no. It's not the industries that you're looking at. We are looking at what are the people, the places, the organizations that exactly cause the problem, reveal the problem, diagnose the problem that your app solves. We don't care what the industry are. Who is it and where is it that people are beginning to see is like, oh my goodness, I see I have this problem and I want a solution for it. So this is where I designed a higher level program for folks to really use strategy on top of relationships to get what we call that perfectly in-stream partnership. And, there's a whole bunch of examples of this, but here's the honest to goodness truth of it. You can have 30 partners that aren't perfectly lined up who combined don't add up to one perfectly in-stream partner. So we were having this conversation with community member Ann Hessian, and of course her partnership with Greg and Antonia. Those folks are so perfectly in stream that she had a greater result from the one relationship than all the other relationships combined in a shorter span of time. So here's the point to in stream, and this is one of the reasons. And Chris, I believe we launched the next round of in stream on September 7th, right?
That's right. It's coming up at the top of the month, and it's the place to be. Go ahead. Let's keep going on that.
Yeah. So I just want to say a couple of things about it, and perhaps if we can in a moment or two be ready to even just put the link in the chat there, because folks, if you have not participated in stream or you have done in stream before and you're ready for a higher level conversation, this is frankly the single highest level process that we have in terms of strategy. So first and foremost, don't think about it from the perspective of how many partners. Think about it from the perspective of how perfectly lined up. When I get a referral, when I get a lead from this person, place, organization, structure, number one, does the person know they have the problem that I solve? Number two, are they looking for a solution to that problem right here, right now, this second? And number three, does the referring partner's endorsement actually serve and support me to move forward with the deal? And the honest to goodness truth, gang, is that if we can line up simply 10 perfectly in-stream partners on our upstream, 10 perfectly in-stream partners on our downstream, that is where this entire process becomes game-changing. Now, one of the things that is interesting about this is that often we are looking outside of our traditional means. And what I mean by that, I'm just going to use the conversation I had with Matthew for a brief moment. And he is starting a dating app that looks really tremendously fantastic. And the big question is like, who, what are the industries? And it's like, don't think about it by the industries. Think about it from the problem and the referring factor. So we ended up with a whole variety of ways in which you can do that. But one that I thought was kind of fun is simply this. Because number one, he knows how to do Facebook ads. He's a Facebook wizard. He's done a whole bunch of those things for staff, for his tribe. And it's as simple as this. The folks that are changing their status from in relationship to single. People that are changing their status from in relationship to it's complicated. That is, they know they've got the problem. Now, they may not be entirely ready to fix it. They might be like, let's just stay the hell away from that shit for a while. But, but the truth is, it hits the nail on the head about what is the problem and what is the solution. So I'm going to say it in this manner. As clear as I can say, most of you should be doing in stream for this particular reason. You have been having difficulties finding the right partners, the partners that actually promote when they said that they were going to, the people that they send are actually ideally qualified, the people that they send know they have the problem, the people that they send trust and rely upon the person upstream. So having partners isn't the answer in the big picture. It's having the right partners. And in stream, we do a series of exercise activities and processes that help evaluate where someone is in terms of being in stream. So there's this entire scale that we're going to go through, which number one evaluates how in stream they are or are not. And the next piece then we're going to do is build a relationship building process. That relationship building process boils down to short-term, mid-term, and long-term. And short-term you can think is anywhere from 3 to 6 months. That's a deal that, frankly, you could, if you have some decent relationship with them, you could probably get a deal done in 3 months or 6 months. Midterm is 6 months to about 18 months. And that usually takes a little bit of time and execution and strategy. And I'll give you a great example of that. A friend of mine, Ron Resch, I spoke for him at his Medellin Mastermind in, goodness gracious, what was that? I guess it was 2 summers ago, has invited me back for next summer. And it's like, that's fantastic. And just to be clear about it, he's been working every single summer ever since. But that's a good example of, he said to me, it's like, you've been on the long-term radar to come back this entire time. And he has been engaged and consistent with us, which, by the way, if you don't know Ron, he is one of the greatest strategists for launches, digital marketing, particularly in the coaching space. And he's going to be at our summit in Cabo coming up here at the end of September, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. Okay, I feel like I've been babbling a lot because it feels like with summer off, I haven't talked as much about this as I normally do.
Like, whoa, here it is. The difference is when people are first learning about joint ventures and about JV partners, it is like, it's kind of funny you're using Matthew's example of the dating app, because it is kind of like dating. You kind of have to be willing to talk to a lot of people to kind of figure it out, and you're going through the process, you're refining, you're learning what to say, what to ask. And so there's kind of that vibe. However, as you're getting more sophisticated and you have your pieces in place and you have your offer and you're ready to start saying, okay, I don't want to talk to a bunch of people. I want to hone in and find those handful of really, really strong partners. And that's what InStream is all about, is taking you from the lightly dating JV partners into a more focused and determined, aligned strategy that's going to get you, like you said, midterm, short-term, midterm, and long-term. And also you'll tell us about where people, those that you know, and the people that you don't know or don't know you yet, but you want them to know you. There's a strategy for that too.
Oh, there absolutely is. In fact, we call it the 3x3 model. And in the InStream program, you're going to take consistent action on the 3x3 model. And I'll just foreshadow what that is, which is simply this. It is a set of actions that is embedded in the program that is 3 for free. So it's 3 things that you can do that don't cost any money, that actually build the relationships with the people that are perfectly in stream. Then there's 3 for fee. This is where you actually spend a little bit of money or you make an investment. And when I say spend a little bit of money, that might be you actually writing a check. It might be giving a complimentary course or program, which, just to put a period on that to make sense of that. In Fiji, our upcoming JVology Summit in Fiji, a brilliant coach, Taki Moore, is going to be one of our VIP guests. Now, honest God, Taki is one of the most strategic thinkers in the space of creating 7-figure coaches that exist anywhere on planet Earth. And I comped him the ticket to come to the event so that he can share his wisdom with us. So that's a good example of it is for fee, in that it costs us a little bit of money for him to be there. But again, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're writing a check and sending it to him. So you can think about that in a very creative and broad-based manner. And then, of course, lots of times in this space, people are so busy building relationships, they're not very good at receiving. So what the third one is, 3 for me. And this is where we make direct requests of, would you support my summit? Would you speak at my podcast? Would you do this? Would you do that? Could you assist in a mailing? Could you, whatever that process is. And that is what makes as much traction and action happen as quickly as it does. Because the truth is, in stream, I mean, we're really only talking about 6 weeks. But in 6 weeks, right, you can set up and execute a plan that you will be working on for the next 24 months that will ring the cash register to 6 and 7 figures. And that's really what it's about. I put up Minder's, and I love Minder's quote because, Minder's been in the launch space for eons. He's smart as hell, strategic as can be. And his quote was, now I know how to determine if someone is a good upstream or downstream fit and how to nurture those relationships in a way that makes sense for what I'm trying to create in my life. Because here's the honest truth. Lots of people are working, I'm going to say hard, building relationships. And I mean, yeah, it's a good thing to build relationships with people. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's aligned to moving the needle for the business that you are engaged in. And right, that's the difference.
Vince.
Yes, I loved Vince. He was so enthusiastic in that course and program.
Oh my gosh. His energy is like off the hook.
That is true. So, and all, Vince was very cool in this in terms of InStream, put valuable structure to finding and nurturing the JV relationships. How do you evaluate a partner? What are they worth? What are the actions you should take every day? Those questions and many more were answered today while making this very, very, very worthwhile. So here's the thing. There are some partner worksheets that I designed and developed back when I was doing the initial Mastermind to Millions launches. It is exactly the same process that I have been using in terms of setting up our strategy and our pieces for the current programs. Corey and I are in the midst of doing exactly the same thing for our upcoming couples programs. That's going to be in November, and we'll roll out a much larger scale version of that in January of 2023. But the reality is this, gang, you know, time and again, I get these questions from people. And this is something that sometimes is a bit of a conundrum. And it's, you know, it's like, when should I start working on JVs? I'm not really done my program. I'm not really done my digital course. I'm not really done my book. I'm not really done. And the answer to that question, gang, is always as soon as possible. Now, the only caveat to that is it's helpful if you have a direction or a theme that you are heading towards in your business. Okay, so it's like, you know, if you're going to build a whole bunch of relationships in the sports and, you know, in the sports space, but what you're really going to do is go down the religious road, that might not work out entirely well. But if you know the theme you're heading to, you know, relationships, if you know the theme you're heading to is serving entrepreneurs, if you know the theme you're heading to is relationship building, if you know the theme you're heading to is software and SaaS platforms, if you know the theme, then for crying out loud, get your butt in gear with a strategy now. Because the single greatest error, and I keep saying it over and over and over again, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but I'm going to say it again, is you build the relationships and the pipeline before you ask them for support. It isn't we build the product and then we say, hey, we've got the world's greatest widget. Can you send an email or can you share my widget with your tribe? It's like they don't know who you are. So the relationship stuff has to happen first and goes on a long while.
And that's why it's a process. It's almost like an ebb and flow. It's like you're learning about JVs, and then your business is getting stronger, and then you're creating those JV relationships, and now your business is getting even stronger. And then that's kind of where we come into this point of in stream. We're like, okay, now I'm really ready to take it to that next level. I've been kind of doing the dance of it, and now I want to get very deliberate, very strategic, and really bring in significantly more money into my business through JV partnerships. And that's where in-stream comes in.
Without a doubt. Shadid, good to see you, brother. By the way, I love that post that you made with the little cute shoe. There's nothing cuter than kids runners, by the way. Anyway, it's adorable. Congratulations. But I want to read what he wrote, which is one thing I've learned is that being JV ready is not enough. Knowing how to evaluate the right partners for your business will save time and money. And a few of the right partners will change your life for the better. So on that note, by the way, and I know I'm talking a bunch about the summit just because we've been working on the summit pretty much day and night. But anyone who's been around me for, goodness, the last 4 years or 5 years of JVology has heard me talk about Justin Livingston. And Justin Livingston is a brilliant gentleman who was kind enough to sort of take me under his wing and say, don't do that. And I'd say, I really want to do that. And he's like, don't do that. That's dumb. I'm just like, it doesn't seem dumb. Tell me why. Like, anyway, he was very, very kind. You
do the dumb thing first, and then you tell me it was dumb after the fact. And you'll go, yes, I told you so. And yes, something like that.
Well, you have met me, right? You know that even though I got the advice, it's like I have to prove it myself, right? It's like, yeah, it seems like that was dumb. Sometimes I was like, you should have told me that. It's like, oh, no. Anyway, but Justin is actually going to be at the summit in Cabo. And to put this in perspective of how valuable his perspective is, he's the person that the sort of, you know, Jeff Walker, the OG of launches and digital marketing and selling stuff online. Justin is his consultant and coach in terms of how to run that business. So if you have some perspective about what that means and the caliber of folks that are going to be at our summit, it's going to be freaking spectacular. So here would be my little hint. If you're really going to scale up your joint ventures from now until the end of the year, which you should, like this is the time to get busy so that there's a tremendous fourth quarter. I would do 3 things, actually. I mean this all serious. Number 1, get your butt into in-stream, okay? Even if you think that it's a little bit early, that's okay because we're going to focus on the relationships while you finish your book, your digital program, your this, your that. The relationships, when done well, and I need to back this up, you have to know who you're going to serve. You have to have an idea of how you're going to serve them, okay? It can't be, it's like, I think I'd like to help people. That ain't gonna work, okay? So you need to have like, I'm going to help entrepreneurs who haven't built their first course yet build their course. Okay, that we know. We can build with that. Okay, so you have to have those two pieces. But as long as you have that, come to InStream in September. Lay this foundation and long-term strategy. And then our next program we've got coming up after that is what we call JVology Real Deals in Real Time. Now, here's the truth of the matter. You may not be quite ready for real deals in real time, because the JVology Real Deals in Real Time is aimed at folks who have an offer that is already proven. They're likely doing decent six figures. So you might be in the low end of six figures, you could be in the high end of six figures, but you have everything in order except for this one thing: you want and need more traffic. And by the way, if you do InStream, you don't just want and need more traffic. You want and need more traffic from your perfectly InStream partners, so that you can ring the cash register when they are referred to you and make your partners a ton of money. And when you refer them after you, in terms of your downstream, that, number one, your clients get served properly. They get to take their next step in their life, in their world, and in their business, and you get rewarded substantially. Okay, so that's what Real Deals in Real Time is. And that one is coming up. We should probably, let me just show the, I will show the page. And Real Deals in Real Time is coming up.
September 16th through 18th online. And what I really love about the format of how you put together this Real Deals in Real Time, Jay, is it's a tight day. Actually, it's just 10 to 3 Mountain Time with an hour lunch break. There's no fluff. There's no filler time. There's no useless extras. It is all about connection, finding JV partnerships, doing some masterminds, really intentional and facilitated collaborations. And so you are there connecting, meeting. It's action packed.
Yeah, and it's meeting the right people, just to be clear about this. Now, now it's 14th to 16th, though.
14th and 16th. Okay.
Yes, just to be clear, 14th to 16th.
Too many dates that you did not say any out loud.
I know. Well, I got looking at September, and it's like, it's a damn good thing I took summer off, because by the time we get through September, I'm going to need another summer, for crying out loud. But anyway, but the thing to understand about this, and there is a quiz, and the link, if you go to the R&R page, there's a link right there that takes you to the quiz, and you must land in the ready and refining stage, because at R&R, what we're really setting up is this capacity for you to, frankly, do a virtual handshake and say, great, we got a deal going on, and you are booked, and it will happen, and the people will follow through on what they said was going to happen. That is the caliber of people that are there. So this is the delivery of real partners. That's why we call it Real Deals in Real Time. And if you add the in-stream preparation starting on the 7th, the Real Deals in Real Time is perhaps one of the single greatest, most spectacular experiences of being delivered in-stream partners on a freaking silver platter for you, so that you can set up your fourth quarter of the year. I was going to say something else about Real Deals in Real Time, but it just fell out of my head for a brief moment.
Oh, the quiz. So in order to be eligible to attend, because this is not for beginners, Jay has put together a quiz. It's called the Find Your Flow quiz. It's right there on the website. So as soon as you go into jvology.com/RNR, you'll see Take the Quiz. We want you to start there. This quiz is going to help you understand yourself and your business better as well, by seeing how JV ready are you? Do you actually have a product, a program? Do you know your audience? Do you know what you serve, or who you serve, how you serve them? Do you have some of the tech pieces put together that's going to make you a strong JV partner? And depending on your score and your ranking, that will allow you to be invited in.
Yes. And I do want to be super clear about this. This is where it says take the quiz. If you go to that page, so you just jump in, take the quiz, you'll get a great little assessment. It'll steer you in the direction of what your, number one, what your strengths are. Number two, what you still need to do a little bit of work on. And here's the honest God truth. If you're really hustling, and even if at this moment in time, it's like, man, I'm so close, but I do need more traffic, but I have to tweak this. You could get your butt in gear and you could be there. Like, I mean that in all seriousness. But if you need to get direction about what you got to get done, go do the quiz. It'll totally fill you in. I'm just going to close my door here. I don't know about
reading the call before we jumped on here, Jay, the Better Together Connection call, and we were talking about this. and, packed full of members who've been around the JVology community for a long time. And it was encouraging everyone to take the quiz again, because every time you take it, your score's improving, because it helps you recognize clear as day what you're lacking. So you go, this is the piece I need to get done or improve or create so that I can be a stronger JV partner. And we're seeing all of our community members growing in those areas because they're showing up to the right programs that we offer and to the events. And so many people who entered our world not being remotely ready are now at that place where they're like, yeah, this is the time. I've got it all together. Let's do it.
Exactly. And so the early bird VIP ticket is available for only $9.97. And honest to goodness, gang, 3 days, real partners. And now here's the kicker to this, which is if you can qualify for real deals in real time. This is the kicker. So anyone who comes to our summits, and our summits, this is our highest level of community. This is where we've got folks like Justin Robinson and Taki Moore and Dan Martell and a lot of really strong Steve Olsher, and a ton of great high level folks are there. So here's the thing. People who are attending the summit, both in Cabo and in Fiji, are invited to attend the real deals in real time. Now, you might not be quite ready to qualify to get to a summit, but you could still begin to build relationships. And this gets back to the in-stream conversation we're talking about. You can still begin to build relationships with someone for the long haul, for when you're actually ready to show up at a summit, when you're actually ready to deliver somebody's book. And I didn't even tell you this, Krista, but and I got my fingers crossed, and I don't even know Sean might even be watching, but I've invited a dear friend of mine, Sean Phillips, who he and his brother did the Body for Life that entire stuff in years gone by. He wrote a tremendous book called Strength for Life about a decade ago, and is doing a 10-year later re-release of it, which is going to be incredibly exciting. And I'm like, you've got to get your ass to Cabo. We can help with the distribution of that book. And she's just one of those brilliant philosophers. And if you're in the health and wellness space, there is frankly no one I know who's more connected and has a better heart and serving and supporting people to actually create the changes over the long haul. Anyway, it's going to be a hell of an event.
That's exciting. Yep.
All right. So what else should we fill them in about? So we've got in-stream. Get your butt in there, regardless of where you're at. That starts September 7th.
Yep.
Make sure you go to the R&R page. If you land in the category of Ready and Refining or Experienced Pro, fantastic. Then you can get into R&R and in the comfort of your own home, 3 very strategic high-level days, short, fast, to the point, no BS, no fluff, no teaching, no like what's an opt-in paid, maybe you should build a list, none of that stuff. It's like relationships. Let's serve and support one another to grow, to bring their unique gift to the world, and to bring the cash register to create the freedom that you deserve and desire for your family, for your community, for your tribe. And then, of course, at the end of the month, we're February. What the heck's the summit date? I can't keep track of. No, it's
19th.
Yes, September 19th to 22nd.
Yes.
In Cabo San Lucas. And that is going to be a spectacular time. If you are, strong, if you're strong 6 figures, low 7 figures, if you are ready to build long-term strategic relationships, if you want to come and have a ton of fun with great white space and the capacity to really genuinely shine in front of peers that will move the needle for you, go to the summit page. There's a little application there, or send me a note. Say, I'd like to have a chat with you to see if I fit, see how that would work. We would love to do that. And I think our spot is currently Cabo. There's about 5 spots left, and that's always capped at 30, just so you know, gang. There's about 5 spots left for Cabo. And Fiji was fundamentally sold out, and then they changed their status of vaccinations. Now we have to be vaccinated to go to Fiji, which I think is going to cause 4 or 5 openings. And so we could squeeze into Fiji too on the assumption you're vaccinated. I don't think Mexico or Cabo gives a hoot, but Fiji does. And I think those are the biggies that I wanted us to cover. Anything I missed there?
So yeah, this is what I wanted to say. Well, first of all, the Cabo San Lucas JVology Summit is phenomenal. There's nothing like being in person, spending time with people in a beautiful, relaxed environment where you really get to know them. It's one thing to be on Zoom and to be like, you heard their spiel and you exchange numbers or contact info, but nothing is like actually spending real time with people and getting to know them, grow, brainstorm, have fun, all of those things. That think that just makes an incredible difference. And if you are eligible for Cabo and do get signed up for that, then the Real Deals in Real Time is complimentary to you, because we want all of the people at Summit to have this this opportunity. It's not so much training, but it's really that opportunity for facilitated connections, so that they're getting to know one another, as well as the additional people that are going to be at the online event, Real Deals Real Time. And speaking of that, I actually have a discount code for all of you who are watching to attend Real Deals in Real Time coming up online in September. If you use the promo code, if you use the promo code 55 is old in all caps, 55ISLP, then that is going to get you 55% off of the Real Deals in Real Time. And I want you to take a little bit of a different look at this event. You know, some places like, oh, it's $49, $99 for this or that. This is not just a training. It's not just a little light networking. This is where you're going to actually find and connect and make JV partners. So when you think about the value of a JV partnership, not just in one launch, but multiple, and having a back and forth ongoing relationship, that is what you need to be thinking about. What is that opportunity for you to be in a group of people who are at that level and ready to make connections and looking for them and looking for you?
Well put, Kristen. I think the only other thing to say about that is, to be clear, this is not a sales event. Okay? It's like most of the $49 and $1 down and a lap dance and this and that's all juggling and positioning to get a bunch of people in the room so that there can be a sales pitch. The Real Deals in Real Time is not a sales event. It is a relationship building and JV development event. And that is why there are some gates in terms of qualifications to get through the door. And that's why there's a fee to get your butt in the room and to show up. So I really appreciate you pointing that out. And it's funny because in my head, I would just assume people connect those dots, but they don't necessarily. So is it really a bargain to get something at $97 or $49 if out of 3 days, 2.5 of it is a thinly veiled or not so veiled sales pitch? Ain't for me. But if you pay the money, you meet the qualifications, and you get in the room with a bunch of movers and shakers who are doing quite literally as an aggregated community, $40 million a year, $60 million a year, that's a different scenario than, hey, spend $97 and come hang out with 200 people who are still trying to figure out their landing page. Ain't the same.
Yes. I just realized we did not share the link to the summit, so I'm going to throw that in there. So it's will be posted. Oh, actually, that's not right. It's JVologySummit.com, right, Jay? I'm quite sure that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okie dokie. Well, there you have it. That you now have the links to go check out and explore InStream, which is starting the beginning of September. That's a 6-week program, followed by, or kind of almost overlapping, is Real Deals in Real Time, which is a condensed 3-day live event that's happening online. And then the last opportunity is JVology Summit, which is happening in beautiful Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, on Sunset Beach. And that is happening September 19th through 22 live in person. So look around, see what you qualify for, what is going to be that piece that moves your business in the right direction, and not only your business, but yourself. Like, how do you want your business to go and to feel? Who do you want to be connected with? How much are you going to love the work that you're doing? And these are the events that make you go, yes, I love what I'm doing and who I'm meeting and the people I'm surrounding myself with.
Okay, one last thought to this, because it just struck me when you said what you qualify for. I think sometimes people think that that's being a little, not snobby, but like, excluding folks. And I just want to be really clear about this. When we say what we qualify for, it's super simple. All this means is we want the conversations, the content, and the execution and support to be the correct content execution support for your stage of business and development. Because in this whole world of digital marketing, when money is wasted, it is generally not because a course or a program or a process wasn't right. It's because it wasn't right for your stage of business. And we're just dedicated to matching the content, the support, the conversation in the community to where you're at to get the most out of it. So that's what we're up to. And I think I have kids trying to arrange their lives on the other line. So I'm going to get off.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and look forward to talking with you and answering any questions you have upcoming.
Awesome. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.